live. The GTR Challenge, round 3 at Zandvoort. Let's get rolling. Oh, that's a... Can we point a camera to a single car that's strapped to the track? Let's find out. There we go. Yeah. Just myself in the commentator booth this time around. For the next 2 hours. So we've got 5 minutes left of qualifying, and we'll have a look at the timings thus far. So Stin Sheffers up in P1 again. It's 1:34.295 to beat. Adam Celorak beneath that. Celorak, sorry. I got a DM correcting that. So Adam Celorak, P2, and about 0.2 of a second down. And beneath that, Facundo Giacomini, P3. Skarman Kozlowski, P4. Samuel Ajor, P5, who we'll pop our camera on board with now. Vladislav Badme, P6. Ashikaga Ichi, P7. Makar Nestorenko, P8. Samuel Bezecchi, P9. And Nazin Sandlin, in P10. So everyone is safely within the 107% rule. Everyone's good for qualifying. And yeah, just going to go grab my phone charger. Back in a moment. Goes flying trap. Oh, chilling in the gravel trap rather firmly. Oh god. So if the stream looks remarkably dark, I do apologise. Zandvoort doesn't actually have much in the way of lighting. Let's see if I can amplify my input. So that's as loud as we can go for the chat. It's as loud as we can go for microphone. So yeah, let me get stream posted on up on Buzz the Lookout, and yeah, we'll get rolling. And a sec, just posting up with the stream. Yeah, we'll get rolling. So 2.5 minutes ago, it's also just me in the doing commentary this time around. Okay, cool, posted up. That is Adam Celorak with network issues. Consistent theme throughout the GTR Challenge. As Facundo Giacomini had his Orauto attacked by a cat. Oh, that suck. Amongst others, it's P2. Cool, just going. Yep, it is indeed valid. So we've got 90 seconds left of qualifying, and then we will begin the gridding. So I hope we're all doing good in the chat as more internet wabongus occurs. We'll hop on board with Samuel Gajo. How are we for brightness and stuff on the stream? Because I appreciate the fact that Zandvoort doesn't have anything in the way of lighting, and it's bloody dark. So this is a different lineup, different layout of Zandvoort to the one that we ran in the TK24. So close some bits in the background. As he gives away to Ashikaga Richie on a flying lap of their own. 44 seconds to go until we start winding down the qualifying session. This was last up at 1:34.916, 6/10 off the pace. CPU screams for mercy in the background. i5-6500 putting in work. Cool, good, good. How are the frames? How are we holding? So we're with Samuel Bezzecchi. Cool. So yeah, nice and quiet one. Must be a pretty. It's not sure how intense these next 2 hours will be, but we shall see. As qualifying winds down, drivers setting their final laps. Adam Celerek setting P2, so Sheffers, Celerek, Giacomini, Kozlowski, Gajor, Badmev, Itchy, Nestorenko, Bezzecchi, and Sandlin, who's just rejoining now. Again, it's going to be comically dark throughout the entire duration of the race. Courtesy of Zandvoort having no lighting, which is fantastic. In a evening race in the middle of winter. Qualifying is just closing up now. It's Kozlowski, Celerek, Gajor, and Bezzecchi set their final few laps. On board at the moment with Adam Celerek. Yeah. Nice. There we go. There's one final lap now from Celerek. Yeah, as everyone is forced into the pits, and we go into gridding. Oh, marginally tired, so just expect a slightly quiet one on the stream today. Because I'm a little bit tired. I shall attempt my best. So, line has come through. So it's Sheffers, Celerek, Giacomini, Kozlowski, Gajor, Badmev, Itchy, Makar Nestorenko, Samuel Bezzecchi, and Mason Sandlin rounding off the top 10. 22 seconds as we go into gridding. Well, I hope we're all doing good in the chat. I hope we're all having a nice evening. Cool. There's an announcement from the stewards. The safety car today piloted by Hubert Majak. And yeah, there's Adam Celerek. Not having the most fantastic of connections. As we begin the countdown. So 10 minutes until green flag. We'll see. And we'll make it through without any netcode issues, without any other predicaments. Yeah. So yeah, wait for things to get settled. So yeah, 10 minutes to go, and we'll be rolling. So we'll take this time, you know, through courtesy of the ambient lighting of people's headlights, or not. Okay. So we'll have a look at some of the liveries. And we'll have a bit of a grid walk. Complaints about it being 5 minutes long last race, and yeah, too short last race, and it's apparently too long. Nonetheless, we have 8 minutes 58 seconds left, and so we're rolling with the race. So take some time, grab yourself a drink, and get comfy. I'll quickly pop up the hang on a second. You know, I'm gonna pop it. I'm gonna pop it live. I'm gonna post up, and yeah, I guess just get some more on it. Hang on a sec. I'll slap it on Snapchat as well, so we can get some people in from there. So it's so yeah, Sten Sheffers has been on consistently good form all season. Actually, he has won the previous 2 races that we have run with quite a comfortable margin. And then Adam Cherak, another solid competitor. He's had a bit of bad luck with contact thus far this season, consistently having his headlights smashed out in night races, which is great. Facundo Giacomini, who had a motherable recovery drives last week. Simon Kozlowski, who also had a fat recovery drive from last week, courtesy of a strategy mishap when he ran the softs on Kyalami. Samuel Gajot, P2 last race with a very dominant drive. Vladislav Bardmev and Ashikaga Ichi, a pair of very solid midfielders, and Makar Nestorenko, Samuel Bazecchi, and Mason Sandlin running off the back. Look. Nice. Nice. So we'll just chill for another 7 minutes, and then we'll be rolling in no time. Hang on a sec. There you go. Cool. So yeah, people are on. There, just waiting for just waiting for things to get on. So 6 minutes, and we're racing. Just time for people to just get themselves prepped, get themselves good to go. So it's 6 minutes until lights go out. When the lights go out, everyone will hold, obviously, and the safety car will come out and set off for the formation lap. So it's looking tight in the standings at the moment. Let me pull them up, and I'll have a look through how I think things have been heating up quite nicely actually. So we'll pull through and we'll have a look. Hang on, un momento. So we'll have a quick look through the standings following. So Stin Sheffers has been absolutely dominant this season. The P1 currently standing on a 48 points. Joint second is Vladislav Badmev. A three-way tie for second between Adam Chelarek, Simon Kozlowski, and Vladislav Badmev. That will dictate how things come into the final. Mason Sandlin, P5, 37 points. Makar Nestorenko, P6. With 35 points. Radu Podaska, P7, Ashikaga Ichi, P8, and Facundo Giacomini, P9, with Samuel Bazecchi, P10, rounding out our top 10 drivers. Obviously, there is a drop race. There's a drop race each. So in season, the worst result of each driver is not counted. But yeah, things are close with a three-way battle. So drivers to watch this race: Simon Kozlowski, Vladislav Bardmev, and Adam Chelarek. Things are looking pretty close. There are 4 minutes 30 seconds to go until green flags, and we start rolling with the race. That's it. Grab yourself a drink, kick your feet up, get comfy. Hang on a sec. Cool. Yeah. Just getting rolling. 4 minutes to go until race start. So just have a quick gander at the liveries. So the side heart cars are absolutely fantastic looking actually. Very simple two tones with sort of the driver's colour of choice within their sort of colourway. And yeah. Facundo Giacomini rolling in with the art car and the dyed sort of the coloured carbon. Safe Shield sponsored GTR driven by Simon Kozlowski. They're designed by USS Design Lab. Another side heart card on the Samuel Gajot. Got full on e-boy vibes going on with Vladislav Bardmev. And then Makon Ostarenko with the Neko racing car, based on Samantha Civic from Need for Speed Underground. Which is pretty neat, if you ask me. Yeah, the car's idling for this long is not doing wonders on their fuel. So they are losing. They've lost 0.1 litres from the idling, and amazing. So I'm running a very simple livery with the Motec. So that's why he's been relying on the Motec for his races and setup with a fly high message to his friend. Lovely stuff. So it's 2.5 minutes until we're racing, and then we'll get going. Just checking my microphone. Yeah, we're cool, we're good. How are we doing for like sort of sound levels and stuff? I'm just gonna plug my phone in. Just plugging in my phone to charge it. And yeah, 2 minutes to go until green lights and we're racing. There we go. Cool. Good to hear. Thank you very much. And glad the audio is passable. Like I said, we're going to get a little bit of lag throughout the race probably, but yeah, it's fine. Cool. There you go. So that's 90 minutes until race start, and then we will be good. Make your predictions for turn 1. That's so yeah, what do you reckon? Do you reckon it's going to be clean? So got a long. Obviously, it'll be a rolling start, so it's going to be a long drive to turn 1. So a long whole sections of turn 1. So in 60 seconds, the safety car will roll, and we will begin our formation lap. So not long now. Lovely. So yeah, whopping 8 viewers, lovely stuff. As the crowd goes wild, all 8 of them. But yeah, let's know in chat how you doing, how things are, and who you cheering on, who you supporting, and so forth. Yeah, just checking things internally, seeing how we're doing. There. Cool. So in a minute we will have our tower as the lights get ready to go out. As yeah, a little bit of contact but no wipeouts. That's our predictions thus far, and I can get with that. So the lights go out and nobody moves. As the safety car sets off. The sets off, stops himself at the start-finish line, and we begin our formation lap. So it's things are warming up, things are heating up. The tyres will be all desperate to get some heat in their tyres after sitting off for 10 minutes. They'll be absolutely screaming for some temperature after that, after all that time sat. So we are making our way through turn 1, and I'll back to pits myself. So the pole sitter, and I will pop our camera to follow the safety car, piloted today by Hubert Mazjak, the founder of Team Kamikaze. Fun factoid for you. So yeah, no Jaden today because Jaden is Australian, he's got math finals and he would like to sleep, which is perfectly reasonable. So pull up your track maps, pull up your references, and grab yourself a good cold drink. Because this is, you're going to see a strategy at work. All drivers on the soft tyres this time around, where last race it was the softs for a gamble that's paid off for some and went catastrophic for others. This week, no gambles, everyone's on the softs. So everyone is screaming to get some temperature into their tyres. After that period being sat, it's about 10 degrees on the track at the moment, so about 10 degrees in the air, about 14 degrees on the tarmac. So nice and nippy for all drivers. So they'll be itching to get some temperature in. Zandvoort, though, all the track decisions for this league were meant to be challenging, and Zandvoort's going to be a fantastic test. As you can see, not a lot in the way of runoff, and any sort of areas there are real bits of runoff, they're all gravel, which are quite quick to immobilise a car. So, yeah. So we make our way through the second sector of the track. In a memento. Cool. Yeah, come through into the final sector now, into the boot, into 11-12, into Das Booty, as one would say, and yeah, we get ready to get rolling. Final corner now, and we are almost racing. A little bit of touching on the formation lap going on. Nothing too egregious, but something to raise an eyebrow of a steward or two. So we come around the insanely banked final corner, and we get ready to go racing. So we'll pop our camera on board. We'll go for the midfield. We'll follow Simon Kozlowski as the safety car goes into the pits, and we are racing now. Let's go. Shepherds holds up the grid just a little bit, which gives him a little bit of an advantage. Simon Kozlowski looks at the inside coming into turn 1, makes the move stick quite nicely. Of course, is Facundo Giacomini the long way around, as Vladislav Badmev decides he's going to get involved too. Doesn't quite make it work. Shoots up the inside. A little bit of touchy-touchy between the two of them. That pushes Facundo wide. Gives Badmev the position, as that is Ashikaga Ichi taking damage and falling down to the back of the pack. And that is Badmev up into P4. He's got a nice, neat 1-2-3 train with a little bit of sparks and a little bit of contact there. Simon Kozlowski. So all three of them get squirrely coming into the second sector now. So Simon Kozlowski is going to look up the inside of the of Adam Chelarek, I believe, bumper to bumper, with less than half a second between the three cars collectively. And that's Simon Kozlowski all over the duo. As Stin Sheffer's eager to extend his league and eager to continue into race 4 with the maximum possible points. Anyone is still more than eligible for the championship victory, because Laguna Seca is double points. But we have made it thus far through lap 1 without anything extreme, without anything overcooking it in the way of contact. There's Simon Kozlowski and Adam Chelarek running a very close race between them, giving Stin Sheffers more and once more to pull off. Keeping it clean collectively between them. This is a marathon, not a sprint. As Chelarek makes Kozlowski work for it, holds the inside line. We saw similar going on at Zandvoort with the TK24, but he's got his nose ahead. Chelarek forces him the long way around, but does that set him up for an advantage into the first sector? As Simon Kozlowski takes P2, takes the position from Mr. Chelarek. Coming into turn 3 now. And he is ahead as Bazecchi and Gajor trade, and that is Makar Nestorenko being pushed across the nose of Samuel Gajor, forcing him down into P9, P10, last place for the Neko Racing Nissan. As Mason Sandlin gave position, Ashikaga Ichi up a position, and we will hop on board with Chelarek, who has had he's got good one-lap pace, and he's good when he's in clean air, but he, if Kyalami's anything to go of, he does consistently suffer when there's another car's taillights are right in his face. Will they keep it clean? Will they make it work? Let's find out. So on board with Adam Chelarek, who pushes past in the 17 car. It's a very clean overtake, gets better exit speed on Simon Kozlowski. Possible tactical move from Kozlowski, who appreciates his one-lap pace and wishes just to ride his slipstream, preserve his tyres. So if the previous races are anything to go off, we will likely start seeing pit stops at the 40-minute mark. once more, this is a marathon, not a sprint. These are long races, anything can happen, anything can go wrong, strategy can fail. These are drivers being forced to not only think about the cars around them, but think 2 hours in advance. And must plan accordingly. As we come into turn 1, Simon Kozlowski goes for a deep lunge up the inside, not quite the space. But considering it strongly nonetheless. With a grid dispersing just a little bit. With 1 hour and 57 minutes and a half to go. So nice and clean lap 1, apart from a few scuffles, a little bit of a messy lap 2 for a couple of drivers. But otherwise nothing too overly egregious. As we come into the second sector now through turn 7. So a lot of inclines and a lot of insanely high speed corners on this track. A lot of corners where you really wouldn't expect it to, but the banking and the camber of this track actually allows you to come through flat. But now Sheffer's actually getting a little bit squirrely with the tail end, who might open himself up to moves from Chelarak. So we have a nice battle for the podium ongoing. Chelarak on the defensive, going to possibly make room for Sheffers to pull away and secure the victory for Sidehart. As that is Mason Sandlin and Ashikaga Ichi in the background trading positions. As Sandlin holds it and gets ahead. And in the battle for P8, a little bit deep into that final sector as we come through into turn 12. But he holds it for the time being. Nicely done for the independent driver. All to play for, as I said previously, this man has never run a GT race before this league. A lot to prove. It's the high stakes for him. On the quest to defend P8, his life depends on it, and that's Makar Nestorenko. He was closing in there, looking to put up a challenge for P9 as we hop back on board with Simon Kozlowski right at the perfect time as he mounts his challenge for P2. So all three drivers presently looking to be on the podium, and it's just they can't quite decide between them which beat of it they want to be on. So on board with Simon Kozlowski, who's onto the gravel, gets it wrong into turn 7, loses the position to Ladislav Admev. The Russian driver is shooting up the inside and taking P3. So this podium isn't quite as settled as we originally predicted. There's two of them actually on the sort of battling for P2 in the season standings. 42 positions, 42 points, sorry, between the two of them collectively. There's two of them actually on the sort of battling for P2 in the season standings. 42 positions, 42 points, sorry, between the two of them collectively. In fact, we will whip out the Google Sheets and we'll have a quick look at the standings, remind ourselves of what the stakes are. As we get absolutely abhorrent amounts of lag, and Ashikaga Ichi slides and gets it remarkably wrong. It is Chelarek, Kozlowski and Badnave, the current 2-3-4 in the battle for P2. So the battle for P2 is actually between the drivers. Simon Kozlowski falls back again and boxes for whatever reason, possibly sustaining damage, but that is adding the position over to absolutely everyone. As the P2 challenging driver boxing. Bizarre. As we have a ongoing battle for P7, 3 cars dueling. Oh, Makar Nestorenko gets it absolutely wrong. Looked like he took Sandlin out in there. He struggles to get the car moving, and yeah, that was looking like D1 GP for a moment there. As the damaged car of Makar Nestorenko limps on. This is another driver, challenging high up in the points. As the right paddle of Simon Kozlowski is suffering mechanical failure. His right paddle isn't working, isn't upshifting. Oh. And that is not looking good for Simon Kozlowski, who's attempting to fix a hardware issue in the pits. There we go. So that is the about Adam Shelarek, sorry, as we follow him now. And he is looking up the inside of Sheffers. Makes the move for P1. Spectacular move there. And the two of them continue dueling too wide into turn 3, sorry. And both of them look to touch there for a moment. And that is Shelarek once more into the lead. As Sheffers gets it sideways. Neither of them managing to keep temp into those soft tyres. Both cars sliding out, and Vladislav Badmev closing the gap on them. So Shelarek is currently leading the race, which puts him victorious in the battle for P2 right now in the driver's standings. With a strong lead from Sheffers thus far. Willie's worst result all season be P2. As we come through into the final sector, both cars are lunging in there, touching the gravel. I don't know if you heard that through the game audio, but I most certainly heard that. It was both cars kissing the gravel there as Vladislav Badmev brings it just under a second behind them. Mounting a potential challenge for P1. So, yeah, there's somebody to yeah, that's Adam being cheered on from the chat. So what's we on? That is Mason Sandlin overtaking Ashikaga Ichi. Let's hop on board with them. I don't think there was any. Don't think he was particularly happy with how that overtake went now. That is Simon Kozlowski retiring with mechanical issues. First casualty of the race thus far. As his right saddle prevents him from upshifting there. And Sandlin, he just looked like he touched the inside of the barrier there. Going through turn 1. Yeah, it's Makar Nestorenko. His work cut out for him after some dodgy contact into turn 2, turn 3. Put him where he is now. I see it agreed quite nicely disperses. 1 hour and 50 minutes to go. No room for anything to happen. But it looked like Mason Sandlin wasn't quite happy with how he achieved that overtake. Handed the position back. So we are on board with Mason Sandlin at the moment, and we will hop on board with our current race leader, Adam Shelarek, and we will follow him for a lap around Zandvoort. And we'll see what times he's setting. So it's 35s for quali pace, 36 that is near on quali pace from Mr. Shelarek, as he is less than a second out of what was being qualified. And he puts more than a second on his teammate Stin Sheffers. And it's Vladislav Badmev falling 2 seconds behind. And Facundo Giacomini on the Mother River coverage, drives courtesy of his very poor luck in Kyalami, so he's got points to compensate and things to make up for. All to play for, 1 hour 49 to go, anything could happen. Samuel Gaggior comes within a second of Facundo Giacomini. Like I said, this is very much a marathon, not a sprint, but ample room for racing amongst all the strategy. The premise of this league is to test drivers' strategic capabilities and their long-term planning. But yeah, we do love a good mechanical issue. It's we've had a few in our time. We've actually had a physical injury from our races, which is quite impressive. We had somebody nearly break their arm in the first Kamikaze enduro, as a fun fact, because of a bit of dooring into turn 2 of Laguna Seca, and they hit the wall so hard their Fanatec direct drive rig attempted to rip their arm off. So how's that for a bit of ballodrama? And that was the end of GT Version's race in the TK24, which was rapidly approaching 4 years ago. Been doing this for a minute now. Speaking and through the final corner. That banking is absolutely insane. Samuel Gazio just falls sort of out of the 1 second range of Mr. Giacomini. So we'll hop on board with Shepherds, who closed in quite substantially then on Mr. Jelinek. The grid has rather nicely dispersed, as Mason Salin has given the position back to Itchy, who has proceeded to sort of run off with it. God. Thankfully no casualties either like that much. These are all, at the end of the day, good people. So, following Adam Chirac from the perspective of Stin Sheffer's sort of bonnet roof cam. Is it a roof cam? It looks like it's sort of from in. It's like a dash cam almost. Yeah. There we go. So we are following Mr. Chirac as Sheffers is keeping it within 1 second on the man. As we come through the final corner, we'll see what sort of laps they're setting. It'll take a minute as we come through the final sort of final pair of corners. In any sort of as not these two, as we nice blunder. As take a minute as we come through the final corner now. Just to look at the incline, just to look at the berm. And as our epileptic viewers are deleted from existence, courtesy of some headlight flashing. As Sheffers closes in on Mr. Cherick, but look at that incline through there. So what this track lacks in lighting, it compensates for with in inclines. Sheffers brings it into 0.4 of a second on Chelarak, and the two begin a nice duel, I think, for the for P1. Chelarak goes wide, closes the door, gets a little bit squirrely coming out of turn 3. As Samuel Gaggior once more closes it within 1 second of Facundo Giacomini. Potential midfield battle to keep an eye on that top left bar. With 1 hour and 45 minutes to go. So quite a good race to sort of just kick your feet up and enjoy. So the grid is rather nicely discussed. This is a the premise of all of this. If we want something to talk about, the whole sort of setting of this league is look, basically, the top 5 performing drivers get recruited into Kamikaze, and so we're looking for endurance drivers essentially. What we're looking for, what we're aiming for is the driver's own ability to plan stints, manage tyres, manage fuel, etc., while delivering consistent race pace. So we sort of built this together between Tajano and myself as the ultimate test of that. 2 hour race is built to sort of mock up and basically imitate an enduro stint. And test the physical limits. So as I said, natural selection, sort of very much test those limits of drivers, their equipment, their ability to plan, their ability to set things up, their sort of raw pace, and their drive. These races are physically and mentally taxing. They do push people over a line to degree. When we did the Coast to Coast Championship, which was this exact format, GT cars, 2 hour races. There were some quite serious rivalries where people did not get along and they boiled over, and there were people, not full on like ramming each other and sort of ending races. But the racing got incredibly heated, incredibly touchy between teams. And this is, we haven't thankfully haven't had that to that level where people are actually fighting post-race. But, it's meant to test people, both mentally and physically. What they're capable of. Just if they can even do it, to cull sort of the incapable and cull the people who cannot do this. Yeah, that's for anyone wondering, that is sort of the premise. The premise of all of this, of why send all these drivers around a track for this long, for this sort of period of time against each other like this. That is why. That is what we're looking for. That is what we're aiming to test. So what you're looking at is a grid of prospective Kamikaze drivers, and a few people in it. A couple of people in it. The side heart drivers, for example, just in it as a test of their skill and to provide a benchmark for these people. So Bad Mave at the moment, Giacomini, those two are looking very, very, very much set to get into Kamikaze after this, if they continue at this level. To build, to build and become part of a high level endurance team. Just gonna take my hoodie off. Give me a sec. It's mildly overheating. Oh. There we go. Cool. And we are back. Vladimir very much running his own race at the moment, with Giacomini and Gajor up behind. There's Nesterenko still struggling, courtesy of that contact earlier. Poor move, poor positioning, and did a substantial bit of damage to his car. Sheffers is closing in on Chelarek now. So we hop on board, coming into the final sector. And that is turn 12 that are coming into. And through towards turn 13 now, through the banking. And he moves from Sheffers. He has won every race thus far. Is he going to go for this one? Yeah, this isn't meant to be the biggest of leagues with the biggest of grids. It's something nice to keep us going throughout the winter period as we gear up for a much stronger 2024. So through turn 2, into turn 3. Sheffers keeps it clean, looks... So it comes in from a wider line, attempts to tighten. Not got the space, not got the room to make the manoeuvre. Plus he's got dirty air from Chelarek. So while he has the slipstream, he's the dirty air through the corners. And it's become through turn 7 now. He's just focused on keeping it clean, not wrecking the other driver, and keeping the car in good position. Unfortunate condolences to Simon Kostowski, the driver very much in competition for P2, tied with Bad Mave and Chelarek, out of the race with mechanical issues. They had to get someone. It's unfortunate it was him. So we're going to see a move from Sheffers in the next sector, keeping it clean as we come into the final corners once more. So nothing much more with 1 hour and 40 minutes to go. There's not quite a quiet race, not quite Kialami, but not far off. Remember, the middle of these races do get quiet. You do get sort of, as a commentator, there is that middle hour of the race. Sort of, yeah, middle hour, 20 minutes. It's got to make some form of entertainment somehow for the viewer and yourself. As we saw Bad Move in the distance, and Giacomini closing in and keeping it within a second. Running these nice, well-managed, strategic races. Sure, not the best to look at, but they are. Yeah, again, this is technically in the tail of the hare of the tortoise. So, being a tortoise, provided your pace is semi-consistent, Sheffers goes flying off the track. Speaking of consistency, Sheffers stacks it. Gets it completely wrong. P3, P4, P5 pass him. The highest pace on the track, the most he's meant to be the most consistent. And as a man who has run multiple races in the lead without any issue interference, his whole race gets annihilated. I said these gravel tracks would be unforgiving, and that's just proved it. Sheffers goes flying off the track into turn 7. P5, and he's got half of the grid to work through now. Let's see how he does. So up on board with Gundo Giacomini now in battle for the podium. Commentator's curse very much in full effect. As we're on board with Giacomini, battle for P2. Vladislav Badmave defending, and Giacomini on the attack. This is a track where overtakes are very much possible. Just need to pace yourself. You know, turn 1 lunges are considered the sort of the way forward. There's ample room on the rest of the track. Yeah, it's very much a case of the commentator's curse. There's Celarek now in a dominant lead, with Sheffers bringing it within 3 seconds of the pack. Very solid driver, but it's, he's now got his work cut out for him. He's got three seconds to bring it on Gaggior, and then another 2. He's and after that. So whereabouts is Gaggior in relation to? Gaggior is 2 seconds. Yeah, he's got about 5 seconds if he wants to get back on the bumpers of P3 and P2, and he's got an hour and 40 minutes to do exactly that. Will he do it? Will he not? Make your predictions. So we're on board with now Giacomini, getting very much closing in on Badmave in the battle for P2. Coming through the second sector now. As I think we just crossed what the DRS detection lines would be in F1, with unfortunately the lighting geared up for F1 as well. It's in none of its own. But we make do with what we're given and all that. Sheffers needs to make do with P5 for the time being, following that off-track excursion. As Giacomini comes through into the final sector now, into the final corner. And through turn 12 into turn 13. He's not quite got the distance. He's not quite got the distance to make the move, though. He's very much in slipstream range. Gets the exit speed, 3/10, 4/10 per second, down into 3/10 per second. He's going to go under 3/10 per second. He's got the exit momentum. He's gaining. He's got the slipstream, and not quite got the setup to make it work yet, as Sheffers isn't able to bring that gap down just yet. Giacomini and Badmave are having a pair of side heart drivers sort of rapidly closing in courtesy of their skirmishing, as Badmave goes wide through turn 3. With, using the camber of the track actually to set himself up with an exit advantage that brings him 6/10 ahead. With the one good corner. So going 3/10, 4/10 faster now than Giacomini. Trying to open up that gap. Trying to not fight him. Just trying to defend by running good pace and good lines. Which is a sensible way around it. There's a blank shout here wanting to bust out the blue shell for Adam Celarek. I doubt our high up man in the aces in the chat would particularly appreciate that. There's Giacomini. There's a 6/10 behind him now, as Gaggior is winding down to under a second behind Giacomini. I think this battle might turn into go from sort of a battle between the two of them to a battle between the three of them. And if this continues, Sheffers might have room to get involved and open it up into a 4-car battle. But Adam Celarek now very much running his own dominant race. I've said before, give him clean air and he'll run good pace. 37.217, which isn't quite what he would be aiming to run, but still, not off pace. 1:37 is now becoming commonplace. Gaggior 36, half a second quicker. Sheffers even quicker than that. So the two side heart cars running some very clean, very consistent laps, unhindered by battling. And closing in for the kill. Gaggior now 9/10. It's interesting to see the two different lines. Badmave takes a wider line through turn 3, while Giacomini goes in tighter. And it does seem, Badmave does seem to be taking the better line through there, as he consistently pulls out with exit speed that Giacomini then needs to gain through the rest of the track. So Badmave is actually, if you compare last lap to this lap, he's slightly pulling away after that. So Giacomini's just not quite getting that corner right. And there are a couple of people in a couple of voice chats somewhere taking a look at that and going, You know, teams do watch the stream, and teams do take note of what's going on. Let's try to keep it impartial. But yeah, people can watch and make observations as they please. As we come through the second sector now, to the penultimate corner, into the third sector. Sorry. Let's go through to final corner. Very short track, simple 90 seconds. So just over 90 seconds to get round on Zandvoort. Just on board, as Gaggior is not quite wound that gap any further. Nobody particularly changing pace yet, but Sheffers, however, has brought it down to 2 seconds of his teammate, Samuel Gaggior. So the running order is Celarek, Badmave, Giacomini, Gaggior and Sheffers for the top 5. Yeah, the Itchy Sandlin and Nestorenko spaced out between them. think Giacomini might have just set himself up with a slightly better exit then. He's, yep, he's set himself up with a better exit now. And yeah, he has brought it down now to 5 tenths, 4 tenths, 4.5 on, literally for under 4 tenths now on Vladislav Badmev. And just needs to set himself up to get an overtake on the driver. It's Badmev and Chelorak, currently P2 in driver standings, behind Sheffers. Kozlowski probably very grateful that the drop brake system exists right now, given his hardware issues. Down but not quite out. Yeah, it is a little bit like 2021 2023 F1. It's and we've just replaced Red Bull with Sideheart, and yeah, you're pretty much halfway there. Just minus the marketing, because Sideheart don't do marketing; they're very no nonsense, and they just focus on pure on-track results wherever they go. Consistent dominant, you point Sideheart out of league, and there is a strong chance they will win it. One of the higher sort of teams in this echelon of motorsport, of virtual motorsport, sorry, because none of us can afford real race cars. So you're still tracking Facundo Giacomini, who just can't quite set himself up for a move. So no DRS trains here, but Stin Sheffers, hang on a minute, he has got himself right on the rear bumper of Samuel Gajor. No team orders at play here. Drivers, drivers that are running the, they've been given full permission from team leadership to do as they please and run against each other as they will. So, for those who aren't already, the shameless plug: be sure to give us a follow on Twitch. Things are only moving up, and we only recently brought an actual official TKA Twitch online, and there'll be more of this to come, and we've got plenty planned into 2024. So thank you, Dimitri Bonk, for the follow. So we're on board with Stin Sheffers. We're going to get on the dash cam. Actually, I think the camera's above the sunstrip. I think it's just the FOV that's messing with me. So it's battle for P2 goes Badmev, Giacomini, Gajor, and Sheffers. And so I think we can expect a move from Sheffers coming into turn 1, or even actually on the pit straight. He's got a little bit of momentum. Sets himself up. Slings it up the inside, and no resistance from Gajor, as the slingshot actually puts him in firm contest for a battle for P3. So it is now Badmev. Will Badmev pull away? Will Facundo manage to keep up and keep it close between them? Will they duel each other to death? And so we now have Badmev, Giacomini, Sheffers, and Gajor 2 seconds between them. 4-car battle for P2 in the works, as Sheffers is all over Facundo Giacomini already. The absolutely insane pace from this driver all season, with the mother of all recovery drives now. So he sets himself up, 3 tenths, 2 tenths on Giacomini. Gets a little bit squirrely there, gets the exit just that little bit wrong. Backs up his teammate now, with 2 seconds between 4 drivers. So as Badmev opens that gap up, as Giacomini is now looking in his mirrors just that little bit more than he was before. They're running softs. Blanche, they're running soft tyres at the moment. All drivers are on soft. There's no strategy gambles to be making. This time around, given the conditions in the track, all drivers are on soft tyres. Hang on a sec. I've got a phone call. Hang on a sec. Yellow. Yeah. Hang on a sec. And we are back, as we miss an absolutely fantastic moment there from Sheffers, because I was on the phone. So Sheffers gets himself up onto the podium again. Facundo Giacomini muchos displeased. And initial D moment when? I think initial D moment might happen in a minute. These cars have been going quite squirrely and quite sideways. So Batmave now is marching off with a 2.5 on Stin Sheffers, with Giacomini just desperately trying to keep close as he is in a side heart sandwich. But yeah, if you gents, if anyone in the chat wishes to do something, tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's get this out there and get some more people watching. Anyway, there we are. Shameless plugging aside. We're on board with Giacomini, who is opened up to Samuel Gaggior now. The sidecar, so it's picking him off and pushing him down the plugging order. Driver who had his work cut out with the recovery driver last week, and now is pushed down to a 2.5 from the Sheffers on the aggro, on the attack once more. As Sideheart's quest for absolute dominance and a 1-2-3 continues. So Stin Sheffers is who we're on board with at the moment, coming into turn 1. Giacomini on the defence in the background, and Sheffers on the offenders in the foreground. That's like Badmave, P2 in the standings. That's not P2 in the standings after this, as he slings it wide on his usual line, doesn't quite make it work. Goes wide, and that is Sheffers passing. Maybe he was trying to go wide to actually follow his line. So as well as that, Badmave battling for P2. They tight duel between them, and as Sheffers opens it up with just absolutely inhuman pace. That man can not only run, that man can hot lap, but this man can race. As that is Gaggior overtaking Giacomini. Giacomini in the gravel. And that is going to be one for the stewards. Giacomini, yeah, we'll find out if Sheffers can catch Celowick. But that is Giacomini in the gravel. Didn't quite catch what went wrong then, but I'm sure these stewards will find out either way. As that is 12 seconds down for Giacomini now, as he's just pushed into P5. So the sidecar cars made short work for him, as Sheffers is running off into P2. Now on a mission to catch Celowick. 37s seem to be the standard pace, unless your name is Stin Sheffers, in which 36s are on the agenda. If things go as they are going for Sheffers, it will be 6-12 laps. It'll be 20 minutes maximum, if that, before Sheffers is going back for the lead. Not much in the way of lighting for this for Zandvoort line. Which asks the very real question, hey, who turned off the lights? Nonetheless, it be like that. As we follow the dominant Sheffers, P2, and P2, if he can't catch Celowick, P2 will be his worst result all season. Why start at night? Because times are synced up to where they are in the real world. So we had a decent bit of light last week, and basically the weather and the conditions are matching things as they are in the real world. So we keep running them on Saturday nights, which means that Saturday nights are a little bit dark this time of year. Apart from Kialami, where it was in South Africa, which we were running it in summer. Which graced us with this beautiful thing called a 33-degree track, 33 degrees ambient and like 40 degrees on the tarmac. Which is merciful, because in the sun it would have been about 50. So on board with Sheffers, who is extending his lead on Badmave up to 2.5 seconds. Celowick 36.782. Sheffers is 6.84. Two of them are opening things up rather nicely, as Gaggior is half a second quicker than Badmave through that lap, bringing that gap down to 1.2 seconds and closing. So Badmave's line is very good through turn 3, as usually. Takes a slightly tighter line this time round, and Gaggior's the same. Difference between them, no change. As we point the nanosecond we point our camera at Bezzecchi, he goes flying off the track. And that is a match, and that is Itchy and Bezzecchi now trading positions. With Nestorenko's race absolutely suffering. As we get blue flags for Nestorenko, who's desperately just trying to get the hell out of their way at this point. There's no blocking or defending to do here for Nestorenko. He's brought himself a lap down from that contact. And he is just trying to... There we go. There's no blue flags, even needed waving. Good yielding from Nestorenko. As Itchy and Bezzecchi battle it away. So, Samuel Gazio, P4, target, P3, goal for Sideheart, SDH 123. Can they repeat Kyalami? I think in a lap we're going to find out. Half a second it's half a second in pace difference between them. And we are about to enter what we call the pit window. So, what goes on now is in about 2 minutes, everyone's tyres are going to start to perish. Nice, just saw the chat, yeah. It's, Zandvoort is a bloody tough track. It's, as you can see by the tyre marks in the gravel trap, it's already claimed a few victims. But at this point, in the next 40 minutes, this is our pit window. We're just about to see things get interesting. We're just about to see overcuts, undercuts. We're going to see people boxing for tyres and trying to make them last. It's, yeah, people have, there's a firm consensus amongst the grid that softs are the way forward. But it's a case of, how long do softs last on Zandvoort? How long do these how long will these tyres make do for? At what point people's pace fall off a cliff? Yeah, there's fuel to account for. Everyone will need to stop for fuel at some point. Everyone will need to stop for tyres. It's a case of drivers here. So Sheffers has brought it within a absolute fraction of a second on Celerek as he defends. Opens it up on the outside. Celerek defends. Badmave also defending from a ever closing in Gazio. As that gap widens up to 3.5 seconds, but Sheffers absolutely trying to clobber Celerek at the moment. Because the pace difference, for what the pace difference is worth and what the pit stop window is worth, you can do softs on a one stop. Yeah, virtual racing's a tough thing. There's a reason I do the commentating rather than the driving. It was more to do with the fact that Audi RS4 wanted to turn my left ankle into paste, but it is tough. It's but yeah, it is insanely difficult. It is insanely dark. The track has poor lighting. This is tough. It's the way Assetto Corsa's tyres work. It is. Yeah, mediums. It's because it's a cold track, and people don't really run over the 1 hour mark. Tyres will begin to fall. We are now in the window where tyres fall off a cliff. But it's mediums were far more viable on Kyalami with the temperatures. But yeah, with a cold track like this and with the camber is set up, it is possible to do a one-stop. And yeah, there is a consensus amongst the grid that softs are honestly optimal at this point. Celerek bobs and weaves as we hop on board with Gazio, who's brought it half a second behind Ladislav Badmave. So I think we're about to witness things get nice and interesting between these two. Both of them good drivers, both of them with background. Vladislav Badmave, his line, he is a very wide line that sets him up for absolutely stellar exit speed. As you can see by the gap that's opened up between himself and Gazio, widening up to about 7/10. But it does leave him open to a dive bomb. So will we see a dive? Yeah, will we see a dive bomb? Yeah, it's But with the way the practice server's set up, it's everyone is free to observe and gain data on each other, and there's a general people are free to talk. But yeah, it's Bad Wave does have a habit of taking wider lines, and from what I don't think that last wide line, I don't think that was intentional. I think Vladislav's tyres might be on the way out at this point. The 911 driver in the GTR. Presently defending with everything he has from the sort of Gazio. I think Gazio might have done a slightly better job of maintaining his tyres, because it's at some level it is Vadmave having an actual preference for a wider, squarer line, but at some point it just does begin to look like his tyres are just coming off that sort of that edge now. They're losing that sort of that turn in that they had previously. As Gazio goes in for emotional damage. Throws it too wide, sticks up the inside. Barrow tightens it and shuts down him, but is forced the long way around. Cedes the position. And that is now Gazio up ahead into P3. So will Badmave's line set himself up with a run? He tries. All the way on the throttle, 4/10 of a second between them. Opening up to 5/10. He doesn't have the exit speed, sadly for him. No cutbacks here, I'm afraid, as that gap opens from 3/10 to 6/10. That is Gazio opening up that gap. Better managed tyres. Here's a driving line and driving style favouring him for the better. As Gazio storms out, and that is Chelarek and Sheffers now trading. And that is dueling between them. As they struggle to figure out their running order. So that's Chelarek back up in the lead. Chelarek, he's not had the best of runs this season, marred by contact and penalties. Sorry, not penalties. That's Bezzecchi. Bezzecchi, who went on his Austrian exploration and sort of adventure on the Red Bull Ring. I apologise. So it's Chelarek, who's had typically comes out of a race with his headlights smashed in, and his headlights are now not only not smashed but pointing at an empty track in front of him in P1. So that's Badmave, who is keeping on he's keeping on Gazio, but it's a substantially slower, it's an 8/10 slower lap from Badmave. So Sheffers is just keeping it nice and clean between them. They are not pulling any sort of errors. Sheffers is insanely quick. If you're going to one months off in chat, he has done some almighty drives and consistently qualifies P1. He is just in the same way Simon Kozlowski was absurdly quick in the Civic Cup. He is just very, very, very fast. So these drivers do practice. They do take this pretty seriously. And yeah, Sheffers is just absurdly quick. So we are on board with Celarek at the moment. Yeah, so Sheffers is he's just a brutally fast driver. Celarek has run a clean run, but is just the absolute demon pace of Stin that puts him where he is. And puts him in... He has not won it yet, but it puts him in favour for the championship. There's some headlight flashing as a common theme on the back straight there. Yeah, it's practice. It's being quick. Yeah, I've set a couple of world records back in my own heyday. It's being quick at sim, as my internet decides it doesn't want to be here anymore. Being quick on sim, it's a combination of quite a lot of factors. Setup has a hand in it. Your pace has a hand in it. It's tyre management obviously has a hand in it when you're dealing with races of this length, as the gap between them accomplishes the funny number at 0.420. It's so it's a variety of factors that make you sort of pass it. So yeah, and there's practice. You don't start a track and then become sort of this pace. in one day. It's something that, you know, you develop over time, you develop iteratively and consistently. You get feedback, you look at telemetry. You know, a lot of these drivers have Motec set up. You know, Mason Sandon's even got Motec on the car. It's, you know, these drivers look at their telemetry, study their data, reflect, you know, discuss with each other, get feedback, record their runs. There is so much that goes into, you know, driving at a high level. It's complex. It's complex and multifaceted. You know, when you are an athlete, or, you know, like a real life driver that's got, you know, money and backing, you know, sure, you have a team around you, but at this level, you know, it's, you know, you've got a telemetry guy, you've got all sorts of guys that support you in different ways. But at this level, you know, at this level where we are now, this is just drivers being insanely resourceful and insanely quick. As we come by, as we come into turn 1, there's consideration of a move. And I think Badmate might have got it wrong, because that gap between himself and Gazor has opened up remarkably. So we are on board with Sheffers and Gazor Sheffers and Shellarek for the time being, in the battle for P1. Yeah, it's you know, sort of between seasons, I do offer. You know, I'm more than happy to teach people. I'm more happy to, you know, run anyone through, you know, what goes into competing at, you know, this sort of level. It's there's a lot that goes into it. But it's just, most importantly, above all else, it's about having an open mind and not sort of, just about having an open mind and being a receptacle for information that can then go out and, you know, try things and apply, you know, and reflect and apply them critically. Oh, my throat's proper drying up. Let me get some water in me. As we enter Sector 3. Yeah, going on. Sheffers, he's just all over the back end of Shellarek. But he's keeping it clean. Good sort of rehearsal and racecraft between the pair of them. As the rest of the grid has opened up rather nicely. Yeah, simply put, there's just quite a decent bit that goes into, you know, competing at this level, or any level really. If you want to be, the quickest in, you know, for myself it was Togo, but, you know, in any aspect of sim, it takes time. It takes time and it takes consistency. And yeah, you're especially, and I'm actually going to say with Toge especially, you're up against some quite serious hot lappers. You know, you're up against people like Dankalf. Dankalf is an insanely talented driver. You know, people like 0240 GL as well. Very, very, very good drivers who take it decently seriously, who put in quite a lot of time just driving. You know, it's just seat time. It's yeah. In the same way in real life, when you're building, you know, you're building a sort of good sort of street Toge car. It's a case of I know it's a bit of a ramble, a bit of a digression, but yeah, it's good advice. It's you know, in Kamikaze, credit to Scott, who was sort of the main guy who came up with it. But we have a real theory about basically enhancing the OEM characteristics of a car, and then the rest of it is just seat time. You know, develop the strong points, improve the weak points, and then just yeah, don't change everything all at once, and just get seat time to the point where your car, it's like an old leather glove. It's just worn in and it fits just right. You know every way that the car is going to step out and behave. You know what its quirks are. You know what its issues are. You've tried to sort of iron them out and sort of where you want to. You've tried to sort of, you know, exaggerate certain characteristics of the handling that you want to bring in. If, you know, if the car's like got a pointy front end that you can really pitch in, trying to enhance that. And it's just time developing that, and above all else, seat time. So that is that is my advice. That is my thesis. Yeah, exactly. It's I'm, you know, just about to return to Toge. And I'm likely looking at getting myself like a Honda Fit or a Honda Jazz, and it will be a case of, you know, learning the platform and, you know, seat time and just, you know, building myself up to a decent ability level. And yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's just seat time, seat time, seat time, seat time. You know, Sheffers and Shellarek, they are experienced drivers. Gazor he's slightly less experienced than the other, you know, sort of these other two. But he's a really, really, really quick driver who is, you know, he's got the foundation there, and that will only improve with seat time and development in the right direction. You know, these are good drivers. It's just consistent seat time and development. And just a constant drive to improve, really. So as we stay on board with Chelarek and Sheffers. And we are... Okay, so it's going to get real interesting because we are 8 minutes away from the halfway point of this race. And at that point, you know, it's no one's boxed yet. The only person who's boxed is Kozlowski with mechanical issues. So that's the point where things get really interesting. You know, will people try and run for a little bit longer and get the absolute life out of those soft tyres, and then, you know, go in for a charge at the end? All it looks like. So I think Sheffers might go in for a move at this point because he's looking up the outside now. Coming down the pit straight, they are exactly too wide. Sheffers just looks ahead. He's forced the long way around. He's made to work as that is. Chelarek comes up in front of him. As they touch, and that's just that little bit of contact between them. That is going to put a nice dent in his canards and his bumper. And aero damage on these GTRs is it's not a good thing to have. It's quite quickly, once you damage the aero on these GTRs, they become extremely draggy. You lose downforce and you gain drag concurrently when you get damage on these things, and it just rips your your pace to shreds. And at the end of the day, all these drivers are trying to run consistently well-paced laps, managing their tyres, managing their fuel. So that's put Sheffers 7 tenths down, 8 tenths down, sorry. While he is a blisteringly quick driver, he's just going to have to work that a little bit harder now he sustained some aero damage. So we are well within the pit window now. So we're at the point where these drivers are, you know, they will be looking to box. There's, you know, 1 minute 6 to go. These drivers will be looking to box at some point. Looking to switch up tyres, looking to get some more fuel in their car. All of these drivers have planned their fuel strategies, they've planned their tyre strategies, and they're just trying to make it work. But it'll be interesting to see, you know, because of the length of this race, what effect that has. You know, how that influences the outcome of things. So it's just staying, you know, just keeping the camera pointed at Chelarek. So we'll hop on board with Sheffers. As these two continue skirmishing for P1. Yeah, so it's heating up quite nicely. So there's Chelarek, Sheffers, Agazio, Badmave, Giacomini for your top 5. And Giacomini just about gaining a little bit on Badmave, but he ends up in the gravel for whatever reason, whether he ran out of track, got it wrong, or he was hit. His stewards will see. And that is 1-4 later. It's interesting seeing. So at this point, that's actually, you can see something quite interesting now with the level, sort of what these tyres have come to as my CPU tries to burn itself to the ground. These drivers at this point, there's just as much steering going on with the throttle as there is with the wheel, because these drivers, their tyres are absolutely knackered at this point. These are soft tyres that have had an hour of abuse. So at this point, they are these tyres are pretty shredded. They're pretty toast. They're pretty dead. So at this point, they are steering, you know, just as much with their feet as they are with their hands. Yeah, trying to just conserve that a little bit of time, just trying to, you know, push the car around with the throttle, basically trying to rotate the car with the lift off the brakes in the throttle. It's interesting to see. We'll watch it. Yeah, we'll just watch it. As you can see here, is he just sort of, you know, the car is a little bit sideways coming through it, so he's just steering it with the throttle again. Watch it through here. He pushes himself out and pushes himself through, especially through turn 3. You see it slides, and then he just pushes the car straight again. Yeah, everyone starts somewhere, Dimitri. It's yeah, everyone begins somewhere. Everyone has different ability levels. So it's yeah, again, it's just a case of yeah, building your pace over time. Giacomini's brought it down to 3.5 seconds on Badmave. Those things are spicing up between them. So 1 minute 3 to go. We're firmly into the pit stop window now, as we're just about to crest the halfway mark of this race. I do apologise for the intermittent sort of sights and sounds of my CPU trying to frag itself. But it's Sheffers now. I think that earlier off track is just sending Sheffers tyres off an absolute cliff. So as we come over the start-finish line, we'll look at the pace difference between these two most of the grid. Take in mind, there's a bit of a gap, so there'll be a bit of an interval. So we'll hop on board with Chelarak, coming down the bit straight now. And that is Sheffers, first driver to box. So 137.181, and behind him Gajor is 137.452. So that's Sheffers now in the pits. So it's that is the Sheffers blinks first. So when everyone else boxing, put him in front, and I think that is Bad Mave. Bad Mave comes in for the pits. So when one driver pits, that usually sets off a chain reaction, but other drivers pitting. So that's Bad Mave now in the pits, with a little bit of front end damage, as you can see, and so he's going to probably go in for a front end repair and bit of a bodywork repair, tyres and fuel. As that Sheffers comes out of the pits, he's put such a decent window on himself. He comes out the pits in P4, with Bad Mave now being passed by that is Bezecchi passed as well. Bezecchi and Itchy up, just making that, just sort of pushing their tyres out that a little bit longer. So the first couple of laps that these drivers will run will be a little bit slower. It's because they're still, they're just getting heat into them, they're just getting life into them, they're just sort of bedding the compound in. So that is Sheffers now P6. So as drivers complete their laps, you will see their times pop up. Keep an eye on what time Sheffers are saying. If you just want to see what it does. So that's Bad Mave out of the pits as well, P7, with quite a bit of work to get in. So it's he's battling, his current battle is with Facundo Giacomini. So there we go. That's like I said, when one driver pits, many drivers pits. That's Chelarak now in the pits. Gajor stays out and takes the lead. So Gajor, your current race leader, as Chelarak boxes. So we'll see who else pits. So Giacomini's obviously had a gravel excursion, and his bonnet is clinging on for dear life. Itchy is still running with a clean-looking car, from what I can see. Bezecchi still running, Sandlin still running, but Sheffers is the Sheffers first to blink, and Bambi. So that is Cherek coming out of the pits now in P3, with Giacomini staying out. So let's look at the pace difference between these, and let's see if Giacomini pits in the next few laps. So the battle is between Giacomini and Bad Mave. And that is a substantial window that's opened up between them. So we'll see who comes out in front after this pit window. So this is the bit where things, this is the middle race where things get interesting. So Ashikaga Itchy into the pits. There's a Cherac down position with Bezecchi up one. So Samuel Bezecchi, currently was Facundo Giacomini. Bezecchi still to blink, still to pit. Which puts in Gajor as your current race leader. So I'll just hop through the grid. So that is Sheffers. All of these grids, this grid's very much dispersed. That is Itchy coming into, it's out of the pit, sorry. With Mason Sandlin now, P4. Yet to box. So it is Giacomini, Bezecchi, Sandlin, yet to pit. There's Gajor boxes. There's current race leader is in the pits, and that is Giacomini coming around. Is he going to box? Quite substantial dispersion between these guys, and he boxes. So Giacomini blinks boxes. That's Bezecchi, your sort of Bezecchi and Sandlin, your last runners, as well as Nestorenko. That is Itchy down a position and Chelarak up a position. There's yeah, there we go. Cool. So that is Sheffers has overtaken Ashikaga Itchy. Something does not know what to do with itself. That is yeah, that is Bezecchi still. God, what is actually going? So bear with, as our grid is having a aneurysm. As Bezecchi stops? Eh? I'm just straight up confused at this point. Interesting. Well, I don't know what the hell's going on with that, so we'll roll with it. That is Mason Sandlin, currently your race leader. After all of that, after everything has reshuffled itself so nicely, I am actually confused as the commentator. Mason Sandlin, last to blink. Well, it's not necessarily of course a race without some technical among us, but Mason Sandlin is your current race leader. And is yet to box. Is absolutely milking the life out of those tyres. As Giacomini comes out, and he is, there goes, everything is just reshuffling itself. And I am confused. And as Bunch says in the chat, he is winning. That's, okay, sorry, we now know what we're looking at. We have Chelarek, Garajor and Sheffers together. With a second and a half collectively between them. Bezzecchi is P2. And Sandlin is P1. Mason Sandlin still yet to pit. Is milking the ever-loving life out of those tyres. And keeps going. Does not box again. And last I checked, he was on softs. He's on mediums. I take it back. Hang on a sec. It's we've got tyres up. People have sorry, I take back my previous statement. People are on the mediums. So Sandlin is on the mediums. Chelarek mediums. Gazjor mediums. Sheffers mediums. There's Bezzecchi, the only soft one after that. So people are on the meds. I take that back. Yep, no, I am an idiot. They are on the mediums. So, there we go. My bad. So, we have a nice little train forming of the side out cars, which is running Bezzecchi, sorry, Chelarek, Gazjor, and Sheffers! Gazjor! Oh! Oh no! That was that is absolute disaster for Gazjor as his back end gets smashed down. Sheffers, I think his internet took itself out. Another man down. That is Sheffers. I think his internet. I think his internet wiped out, and I think that wiped out. Gazjor. Oh. We managed to make it through Kiellan with that internet trouble, but that is Gazjor's GTR absolutely smashed to pieces from that. I think there's going to need to be a bit more than machine. Yeah, I think there is. Is there need for it? There's Giacomini's Gazjor, sorry, is limping. But God knows if he's. Is his car okay? Is he okay? His car is absolutely struggling. Not shifting gears properly. It just doesn't sound healthy. It's Mason Sandlin is yet to pit. Bezzecchi gains on him, but that is Sandlin. Yeah. And yeah, that is Mason Sandlin still in the lead with Bezzecchi mounting an attack from behind. If the car works, Gazjor can box it. As he pits for damage. So that is a substantial wrench in Gazjor's work and a substantial wrench in Sheffers' race as his internet gets taken out. That's no, I don't think we've had any FFB strikes back tonight. But yeah. Hang on a sec. Uno momento while I move something. Cool, we are Gucci, we are back with Mason Sandlin, your current race leader, as Samuel Bezzecchi mounts an assault. Samuel Gazio's race annihilated from that, and car equally annihilated, as Bezzecchi makes a move into turn 1. The long runners on the mediums, and that is Nestorenko still running as well. And that is Bezzecchi, your current race leader, after some absolutely abysmal luck in the previous races. That is Bezzecchi up in the lead, your current race leader. And then your running order: Samuel Bezzecchi, Mason Sandlin yet to box, Adam Chelarak, Facundo Giacomini, and Vladislav Batmaev. The two having come out right next to each other, and 1.5 seconds apart. As Gazio makes his way out of the pits with a repaired vehicle. So just about keeping it together. A little bit of tail end action coming through turn 3 as his tyres are still warming up. He's like, screw it, why not get some tyres while he's at it? As all of our drivers are now medium runners, apart from Bezzecchi, who is on the softs. As we witness that second stint, Bezzecchi is now as Bezzecchi is our soft runner. As Gazio dropping his drop back substantially for an absolutely ruinous race. So he's got his work cut out for him. Yeah, he's I think you might be right. Safety car. Oh, hang on. No safety car. No safety car. It's I think he got control locked. It's no double yellows, so safety car. Nice. As hardware issues continue to man this race. Lovely. Bezzecchi, current race leader. Sandlin, P2. Absolutely, I think his tyres might have gone off the edge now, gone off a cliff. So I think that might be a index for Mr. Sandlin's tyres. As he has made it thus far, he's put 70 minutes on those medium tyres and is hell bent on staying out. So Bezzecchi, our only soft runner of this race thus far. And let me just boink. So yeah, it's Bezzecchi after that pit window, the only person running softs. Okay, all good. All is good. Green flags are staying out, and we are staying racing. And so we're just going to stay on board with Mason Sandlin at the moment. It's still P2. So Bezzecchi setting a 38.863 on the softs, and to be fair, Sandlin was quicker that lap on the mediums. Still some life left in those tyres, as we see Chelarak, Giacomini, Batmaev, Itchy, Nestorenko, etc. All people who have boxed coming out. We'll see their laps shortly. So we'll hop on board with Chelarak, who is about to set his lap as that pit window has caused a massive separation amongst the grid. Let's see. 36. So there's 50 minutes. It's 50 minutes, and Chelarak is 2 minutes a lap faster. A lap is 90 seconds. So it's is Sandlin seriously going to try and do this without stopping? There's no rule about needing to do a one-stop. Yeah, I think Magic was extremely late with that. Brain is firing on all of the cylinders, indeed. But yeah, it's Sandlin. I think he might try and just do the entire thing on one set of tyres. So it's 28 seconds between him and Chelarak, and another 27 between him and Jack. I mean, there's no rule about having to stop. You don't need to box. There's no, you can do the entire race on a no stop. And I think this absolute madman is going to try it. I genuinely think Mason Sandlin Let's see what lap he sets. So 37.6, and is Sandlin going to set a 39.2? I don't know if his tyres will have it in them, but he's going to try it. He is absolutely going to give it a good go, as the grid has massively widened, and the things have separated quite substantially. But I think the absolute mad lad is going to try it. It's the gap between him and Bezzecchi is opened up to 4.4 seconds, and he is bleeding paces. That is Celerec, 2.5, 3 seconds a lap faster. But provided Sandlin keeps it on the track and keeps some inkling of life in those medium tyres, it could work. It could genuinely work. And remember that Bezzecchi is inevitably going to pull away, as he is on soft tyres. Bezzecchi on the one-stop strategy. But he's, you know what? It's either that or something has got, either that or he's just extremely late and he's completely missed his pit window and he's just sending it. It's just that my question is, will the fuel last? Is a full tank of fuel? When you do a bit of practice, you quite quickly get the data that gives you the maths for how long your fuel lasts. But by running a clean race, it's is the fuel in the tank? 1:31.4. So is he just going to go? Is he going to go in for a quick fuel stop, no tyres, or go is he going to do like a later stop and just grab some softs at the end? No, maybe potentially run a longer first stint and then sort of make some softs last the end. Sandlin is running a totally different strategy to the entirety of the grid, and again, he's just got just over 45 minutes to go. He's okay. So yeah, if a full tank is 130 to 145, he's just about to enter sort of the panic window, basically, for fuel. I'm intrigued to see what this looks like come the end of the race. Whether it works, whether it backfires catastrophically, whether it blows up in his face. I genuinely don't know how this is going to go. Whether it's P2 for Sandlin sort of in the back, or will Celerec and Giacomini, will they be able to sort of intercept him in time? It's fascinating. These GT cars are a handful. They are very brutally fast, very sort of okay. Well, either way, no matter what lap time you're running, everyone is running for 2 hours. It doesn't matter. There's no number of laps to complete. It's not. It's it's just 2 hours straight. So it's we'll see. So we'll hop on board with Bezzecchi as he sets a 1:37.391. So we'll quickly take note of what Sandlin sets behind him. On his race pace, on those mediums, 140. So his tyres are degrading quite substantially now, and he is falling in. If he pits, he's in attacking range of Celerec, definitely, and possibly even Giacomini after that. That gap is opening up substantially, and that gap is closing between him and Celerec. So it's possibly oh, Bezzecchi into the gravel. Into the gravel, no contact with any solid objects. But that is Bezzecchi in the gravel trap. And Mason Sandlin lets up, avoids any contact. But he goes for a dive up the inside. This absolute madman on the longest stint in the race. 1 hour and 15 minutes in. Hasn't boxed, hasn't gone for fuel, hasn't gone for anything. And he's just he's trying to throw doors with P1 after a mistake put them in the gravel. Absolute madman. I will be honest, Mason Sandlin is the most interesting driver on the grid right now. Even though he is on a totally different strategy, on annihilated tyres that are an hour and 20 minutes old almost, he's going for it. He is just absolutely insistent, and he's going for it. Yeah, that's a good prediction. That's a good prediction from Phoenix, as Bunch said. It's yeah, when everyone else is just absolutely perishing from deck, when those softs, kick the bucket, and when everyone else is struggling with tire degradation, and he might just box and throw some softs on. If this works, he gets like, you know what? Yeah. If this works, I will be mighty impressed. But remember, Adam Chelarek is 14 seconds away from Sandlin now. With 40 minutes to go. That gap is closing substantially. Let's have a look at the tyres. So Chelarek, mediums. Everybody else on mediums. So it's Sandlin, it just he's dropped down a little bit, but he's still staying within he's staying within soft tyre runner territory. This, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea if this is going to work, given the fact that Chelarek and Giacomini and Badmave are all closing in on him. It's risky. But, fair play. I mean, Blanche, you can if you want. Hop in VC1 and I'll move you in, mate. If you want to commentate, hop in. Just let me know, and yeah. And I've got a message from Dre on Sheffers. Yeah, go for it. It's up to you. So yeah, on the bonnet cam of Mason Sandlin, we've kept our camera set as Bzechi in the lead ahead. Chelarek, yeah, that is Chelarek behind. I believe that is Nestorenko. Oh, and that is Nestorenko having also got it wrong. Chilling in the gravel. And there's Itchy going by. And Gazor having a absolutely abysmal run as well. But, yeah. That's what we stay balling. Dre has described the utter catastrophe that has been technical issues. He's just in my DMs. He's just told me that the things are absolutely disastrous. He got like basically his game crashed, and it just launched him into Gazor. So we're just going to keep keeping the camera on Mason Sandlin, who was just running this absolutely absurd stint. So we're going to get Blanche joining us in the VC. Hang on a sec, Liam Blanchard. Hang on. Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm really surprised he's pulling off this. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it.
Yeah, me neither. Because Chelarek has now fallen down to, he's now brought that gap down to 8.5 seconds. He's very much within striking range and very much within overtake range, and as Giacomini is equally risky, given the distance between them and given the fact that it's barely opened up, potentially even at risk from Badmave. Yeah, that is Chelarek in the background now, poised up and bringing that gap down to 7.5 seconds just from that turn one alone.
Yeah, I'm watching Thames fall off almost every two corners. I mean, he's hot lapping.
Yeah, Chelarek has now brought it down to 7 seconds. He is just...
he's burning those tires right now. And here's the question, though. If he burns those tires, he runs up the deck, does that mean his plan technically worked in the long run? Because if he screws his tires just trying to get to him, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is it enough to hold him off?
The thing is,
or do you think Chelarek will just pull Chelarek and just end up passing him anyway?
The thing is, though, for Chelarek, Gazor, after the contact and after he boxed, he is playing the team game right now, and he's giving Chelarek an insanely good tow. It's Gazor is staying such a distance where Chelarek is getting slipstream. He's getting this there's just this real nice tow from him, basically. This real nice nice bit of slipstream through the longer straights of Zandvoort, which is setting him up. Setting him up. He's also got Gazor is welcome to go on the attack because of blue flags he can't, but he's welcome to unmap himself and go for it. But yeah, it's while sort of Gazor's race is effectively ruined at this point, courtesy of Sheffers tearing into the back of him and wrecking his car. What he can do is use the fact his car has been repaired and he's a lap down to provide his teammate with an insanely good tow. As that's brought down to 4.5 seconds now. They are very much playing the team game and the strategy game, which is allowed.
I mean, for sure. I mean, that's see. I didn't get to see that because I left the server a while ago, so I'm just going off the stream. But I mean, that's really, you don't see a lot of that actually in sim racing enough. At like, oh, who's that? Who just went off there?
That's Gazure off the track. So that is
oh no,
that's Gazure. He is
as he hit the wall.
Not in the wall, just in the gravel. He's still running, but Cheleric is now under 4 seconds on him and gaining with fresh tyres. So this is where it gets spicy.
It is, because I really want to see if Senna can pull it off. I mean, whether it was calculated or not, whether he was going and realized, oh crap, this is not going to work, I really messed up, and he's just going to stick it now because he has no choice, or he really thought about this and said, no, I have a really great idea. Either way, I would be stoked if it works.
He's in contest for a podium, because even though they are gaining, it's he can there's still a substantial gap between Giacomini and Cheleric. It could work, and if he boxes for softs, it could. This is and to bear in mind that Sandlin has never ever run. He's never ever run GT. He's never ever actually touched circuit before. 2 weeks
of a
ago.
Debut.
This is a mighty debut, as he's P5 in the standings, I believe.
I mean, yeah, like you said, whether he loses to Cheleric or not, I mean, he's still on the podium.
Yeah.
I mean, that's regardless podium on debuts. And at night, Zandvoort's not something to laugh at. I mean,
and there we go, he boxes. That is Sandlin, after the longest stint on God's earth, an hour and a half almost. At last, pits.
He's nearly hits the pit wall. See, I'm like a few seconds off on the stream, but
yeah.
Christ, I mean, so do you think he realized, oh crap, this isn't gonna work, or like, do you think he just like, no, this isn't working for me? I
wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to tell you until the post-race interviews.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to know.
He's already out the pits, as that is Giacomini coming straight. So let's have a look, and he has put on softs. So that is Sandlin, who has absolutely milked the life out of those mediums, comes out onto the softs. So
that's actually worked out fantastic for him, because he stays ahead of fourth. He can just hot lap. Well, that's not really ahead of fourth, but he's close enough.
Yeah.
That he can just hot lap the crap out of the rest of it. Again, getting insider from Felix while he's watching, but
yeah.
I mean, I think he's gonna catch like the podium, I think, but I don't know how far back he's gonna be able to get, because we all know Cheleric is just gonna run away with that. He had the tires. He'll get enough. He'll gap himself.
Yeah.
But dude, that's. I didn't think he was gonna pit. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't think he was gonna go for it. I thought he was gonna Ironman it. I thought he was gonna stay it.
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's not registered the lap yet, so it's registering as P6, but he's position-wise, that is Giacomini behind him. So he's meant
he
to be,
is? Okay, so he is
P3.
actually podium still.
Yeah, so there's a scoreboard wobungus that needs to settle itself.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, for me, it just fixed itself. Okay, I see that. No, it didn't. I'm stupid. Anyway, regardless, yeah.
But yeah, it's, so Sandlin is, on the scoreboard, figures itself out, probably will by the end of the lap. Yeah. Either way, that is Sandlin. He's about to set some interesting times on the softs. But for whatever reason, it's maybe it didn't register everyone's laps earlier, and that might explain the scoreboard wobungus. There might just be a bit of Zandvoort crapping itself. So that's we'll see.
I've also noticed that Gazure he's not come back from that.
Yeah.
Whatever incident he had, he's really not. I don't know what happened, because he was holding his own for a while. I mean, I don't know what happened now. I can't really tell if the pace is dropping off, or it's just a matter of fact if he had the, incident, had the pit, lost the time. But that's unfortunate. He was holding mid pretty well. He was fighting for some places early on.
Yeah, I think there might need to be some maths. There we go. Things between nope, never mind. I think there might actually be an issue with the track. I've just realised. So Gazure's boxed a couple of times because of damage, and it's put him that far down. But actually, I think it stops registering the laps that the pit stop has occurred on, and I think that's why it thinks Sandlin it's 6th, because I think it's totally balked itself and hasn't registered the lap, and that's happened for each driver that's pits. I think Assetto Corsa has broken itself.
That's not great.
I
Oh
genuinely think
no.
Assetto Corsa, I think the track might have bronk itself.
All right, guys, who was writing on the lap times? Have we got like a spreadsheet, anything open? We can just start writing down laps.
I think so.
Oh
I think
god.
there is a man on race department responsible for this track who's going to have mildly irked words from a few people following this.
Oh no.
Because I think it's actually... Either way, we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. But I believe...
We know the rough orders. Again, we'll find out because the drivers will know what we're gonna assume. We're gonna keep that. I mean, it should. If the Assetto Corsa, like leaderboards themselves, are actual borked, we're gonna have to hope with the honor system. We'll have to ask the marshals as well. Like they can track who comes
The
across.
marshals have a fat
Um,
session on the Sunday, so the maths will be done and things will be calculated.
that as well as I think
Well, see,
it should sort itself out, don't you think? At the end of the race.
possibly. Either way, yeah. Regardless, yeah. It's the stewards. It's not the first time that something like this has happened on Assetto Corsa, so it's a case of just watch and yeah, we'll watch and see if it figures itself out, and otherwise, yeah. But I genuinely think that might be. Ooh, God. Oh, my door just blew on the side. Sorry. Jump scare.
Get really excited.
Yeah, no, it's just a door banged in the background and just cranked up the odd heart rate to about 50,000. But
You
yeah.
you didn't need the race to do that for you.
Yeah, but yeah, half an hour to go, and yeah, I think I think that genuinely might have been, I think that might be, yeah, we've had it before with the 24-hour races, and sometimes a GUID issue causes laps resets. There's some maths required, but yeah, it'll figure itself out. That's I've never seen that before. You know, I've seen Assetto Corsa break in some quite impressive ways, but I believe it's beginning to show its age a little bit now.
You know what I'm seeing?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a gap decrease between Celeric and I can't pronounce it. I don't want to butcher it.
It's Cellerac
I'm doing better.
Bezzecchi.
Bezzecchi. Okay, I was gonna say that. Okay, I would have been right, but I wasn't gonna risk it. I wasn't going to.
Phoenix
But
Storm's
no,
Italian
I've
ancestors
watched.
frown down on you.
Oh, I'll have to tell him.
Hmm.
He's my little token Italian, but he doesn't. That's all right. No, it's I've watched that gap now since I've mentioned it
Yeah,
almost a second now.
Seconds, yeah.
I
Cellerac
mean,
and Bezzecchi.
so is he? Do you think? I mean, if it's running that pace, I mean, obviously it's fluctuating here and there. Obviously, the botched corners and lines, but do you think within the next 10 minutes he has? I mean, I don't know what striking distance, but like it's a concern. Rosecci, do you think it's actually going to happen?
Well, we'll see the difference between the laps that they're setting, because Bezzecchi's about to finish his lap, and Cellerac is not far off that. So we'll see. So Bezzecchi is setting a 38.039, which is really not bad. And then Cellerac after that.
I mean, for the Deg at this time,
And then Cellerac is 37.082. So yeah, there's a second between them.
Yeah.
But it's yeah, so it's I think Cellerac will wind in the gap, and doing the maths, that's the 7 laps. A lap is...
That's if he keeps the constant pace though. And again, he's also had tired Deg as well, and that
he's brought it down. He's brought it down to 5.7 seconds already.
That he has. He has done that.
Yeah, it raises the question of how much benefit does the softs actually have, because yeah, it's at this point, it's let me just check those.
So is he the one that wins the mediums?
Yeah, Cellerac's on mediums, so the guy we're following at the moment with the camera is on mediums, and Bezzecchi...
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking, because I was like, the entire grid just kind of agreed, all right, we're doing softs.
No, they did mediums, sort of most of the grid have done medium on a one-stop. But Bezzecchi boxed quite early, and Bezzecchi put softs on incredibly early. So, yeah. It's, he might have just annihilated the softs.
Then okay. I worry for Sandlin then. If he's put softs on the hot lap,
yeah,
and we're showing that kind of Deg in like half an hour since about when they last pit, he's got a half hour to go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the softs will last for the remainder of Sandlin's stint. However,
They will last, but they won't be competitive. I don't think he's going to be chasing. I think he's. I mean, he might keep him. Might keep him in the corner, but.
I will be honest, I think pit box issues and like sort of not registering people's laps properly has balked a few people's races. I think that's genuinely bricked a couple of races right there. So there'll be some maths for the stewards.
We can't have them had a good weekend, you know. We gotta
No
make sure they're doing work. Yeah, well, you know, what's their job? Just to stand there and just do nothing while they just watch people drive around in circles? No, we gotta make sure they're still there, you know.
Yeah, that's we have.
They have the role for a reason. They're gonna be. They have a steward role. They gotta do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Think of it as their own endurance race. They got skill checks along the way, you know.
Yeah. Either way.
I don't know if that's the appropriate term for that, a skill check, but it is what it is.
Either way, yeah, Kevin will crunch the numbers and figure out what the hell has gone on there. As Jelic has wound that gap down to 4.5 seconds now, as that is Bezzecchi in the distance.
Yes, about 3.5 minutes, dropping about really 3.5 seconds. I mean, go figure, but I don't know.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, though. How hard do you think Bezzecchi's going to fight that? Do you think he's going to let him by and hope that, you know, potentially Deg or something else, or do you think he's just going to really hard fight him for it? Because you know he has half an hour to hold him off. And at this pace, I don't know if it's worth trying to burn your own tires to block him. It seems like it's kind of a waste of your own time.
At the end of the day, I don't think Sidehard's overly fussed as long as they get a 1-2. Yeah, as long as they get a good result. I think they're free to fight it out between them, and I don't think they'll go too hard, and I don't think they'll destroy their own tires in the sort of skirmish. Let's have a look at where Giacomini is compared to. Okay, so Giacomini and Sandlin's actually managed to keep sort of equidistant from Giacomini on the softs. So we'll see what laps Sandlin. You know, Sandlin is now coming around into turn. You know, he's coming turn 13, turn 14. Let's see. Let's see what kind of pace that Sandlin is setting at this point. Because he's got the most unusual strategy on the grid.
That is a good way to put it.
So 36.848. So he's
I mean, he's going.
Look at what Giacomini's setting behind him. So Giacomini on the mediums, 37. So he is pulling away on the softs.
Yeah, a few laps ago Bezzecchi was 38 and Celerc was 37. So if he's pulling 36 this entire time, I mean he's going, but it's a matter of how long is he going. How long is he able to push that?
There's a long enough window there's enough time left in the race for an intercept.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
I think he has the time. If he plays it smart, you know, I think he. I mean, right now he's gonna have a pretty lonely race for a while, but I think over time it'll pay off.
Yeah, endurance racing, especially when there's not like 50,000 cars on the track and you've not got multi-class for Bungus, it can be a little bit lonely and it can be a little bit quiet, and it can be a case of, you know, the patience is the thing that wins it for you.
Yeah, as long as you can keep your head down and just don't even hot lap, just keep it consistent, you know, exactly. As everyone says always in the wrong times, is just, you know, slowest, smoothest, fast, you know, just do consistent, efficient laps.
Yeah. It's, I mean, honestly, with lapping at this sort of pace and this sort of level, it's just about finding a groove. So we are on board with Celerc at the moment, and he's winding that gap down to, from Bezzecchi, to 2.5 seconds. So I reckon give it one more lap or 2 more laps, and I think there's a possible intercept and a bit of a duel. Bit of a battle.
You think it's going to happen down the pit straight again? That seems to be the place to be.
Yeah, it's a popular overtaking spot. You know, there are any attempts into sort of turn 7 here. It just ends in tears. Anything.
It's not a great place. Over that, and yeah, a lot of things are going because you get pushed wide over that. I mean, you drop a tire off. We've seen what happened like 3 times now. It never goes well.
Exactly.
You drop a tire off. You think you're fine. You come back to the line. You steer back to the right, and you realize, oh, I haven't had grip, and then you just kind of start to spin a little bit.
Yeah. So 2 seconds now. Bezzecchi and Celerc in the battle for P1.
Looks like Itchy's also creeping up.
Yeah.
On 4th. It looks like, I mean, I don't know. The pace hasn't been showing a great improvement, but it looks like slowly but surely he's been itching up. And I think, again, if he keeps himself in his own space, I think he could very well, near up there. It's an opportunity that could be had.
Yeah. Nice Discord notification in the background. That's, I had I'm impressed I heard that. I'm impressed that detected. So that is now Celarek 1 second, and so this is sort of the lap where he's going to wind him in and go in with inset. So yeah, pit straight, solid prediction. 23 minutes to go. And
I mean, that's where all the fun has been, you know. I mean, every single pass I mean, there's been a you know, a select few where they know they've had the pace.
yeah.
They've cut the, you know, they've set up their lines.
Oh,
Like they've been under.
Celarek clipped the edge of the track there. That gap is going to open up a little bit more because he had to save that. Got his brakes glowing hot, trying to bring that thing straight and bring it to a halt. So
Again, it's that rate. I can't name the turn. I think it's between what 3 and 4.
That's
Not 5.
That's 7.
It is. Holy crap!
Pull
I
up
am
Google
way off.
and pull up the F1 track map.
That will be done at the moment.
And that is Makar Nestorenko. It's Havu's had a very unfortunate race due to some contact early on. But Celarek has wound that gap down again. Bezzecchi is a quick driver, but Celarek is just on another level. He is, in the absence of Sheffers, he has made it work. That's, yeah, that is now Bezzecchi and Celarek battle for P1 as we come through 10:13, 10:14. It's going to get interesting. So, half a second between the two. That is slipstream range, and Celarek does have a little bit of pace. Does he have the exit speed? 479, 424. He does have the exit speed. I don't quite think there is the room to make it work and go for the lunge. So he's got another lap, another 90 seconds to bide his time and just set himself up for a good move on Bezzecchi. So it's,
Fun fact: when you're still muted, it's kind of hard to hear you.
Say again?
Oh, you know. Figured I should probably unmute myself if I want to say something.
Yeah, that's probably helpful.
Figured it helps, you know. Better, you know, better for the voice.
Yeah, no, it does help when you speak if people can hear you. Fun fact.
Or so I've been told, you know.
Yes.
I'm not too into that technical side, but it's been explained to me that way and
Yeah.
figured it out. But yes, I have the wonders of Google, and I am learning very quickly where I was wrong.
So they are 2 tenths apart now.
Oh,
I
it's 'cause
suspect a
those
move
two
up. That's going to be a
points.
lunge up the inside of the next corner, I think, from Celarek. So no move this time around. I think Celarek is going to set himself up for the exit speed,
Yeah,
and we're going to
I
see
see
a overtake
I
coming
see it
in.
happen.
As Celarek uses
Over,
the very
under?
limit of the track, and
Nope.
he's going to come up the inside. He's
that's a
lunged
tire
up
up.
the inside. He's lunged up the inside. He's going to hold it through sector 3, and that is Celarek up into P1.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's about time. Honestly, I didn't think he was gonna go so early for it. I thought he was gonna bide his time and just push it for, you know. Again, I just felt like the pit straight was the easiest, you know, safest option.
Well, he made it work regardless.
I mean, he did, and it was clean, and it you know, it seemed. I mean, he's already pulling, but I just didn't expect it.
Yeah, well, nonetheless, that is that. That is Adam Celarek up in pole, Samuel Bezzecchi half a second behind. As that is I think Bezzecchi's softs. I think he might have gambled a little bit too early on those soft tyres. So we look on the should we just look on the gap between Giacomini and Sandlin, because they were meant to be sort of competing with each other. And then I think the moment you box, I think everyone's lap gets deleted when they box for whatever reason. Bit of a mod issue or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to review and find out what's actually gone on with that in sort of greater detail. But, a little bit of a Assetto Corsa bronc going on.
Yeah, well, you know.
So we're on board with Celarek.
Couldn't be a TK event, right?
Yeah, the blue flags for Nestorenko, who was suffered from that contact earlier on and never quite recovered it. So it's likely a clean pass from the Neko Racing automobile. There we go. A little bit of blip in the brakes. There we go. Nice and courteous. It's just as good racing from the car as blue flags as the people that are winning. That level of respect and the ability to throw your ego to the side for a faster car like that is commendable. So, with Adam Celarek, your race leader. I think Gazior is closing in quite rapidly on Nestorenko. It's Makar Nestorenko and Samuel Gazior on a collision course. So that is Nestorenko 141, Gazior 137. So it's now there is a battle that will be mounting between them. With I think Nestorenko might have hit the limit this time, as he's just going to try and desperately get in on the lines of Bezzecchi. Mimic him, get a bit of slipstream, get a bit of a better understanding of the lines, and get a bit of pace.
Just get as much of a toe as you can. I mean, it's at that point, it's almost free pace.
Yeah.
You just take a little bit of that air out of the way.
He's already fallen out of his slipstream, and he's rapidly coming in the... Oh, is that an off track? That is an off track. Of Adam Celarek. Adam Celarek has just got it wrong.
Very wrong. Yeah, I didn't see how much it was, and then I see a very slow re-entry.
I just heard the gravel, and I just heard, and I was like, that's the sound of a car on gravel. And lo and behold, that is Adam Celarek back down into P2. His previous work undone as he gets in behind Gajol.
Well, you know, he has a toe now. He'll get a blue flag. And actually, will he? No, is it the?
It's the same as
the
what happened
position's
previously. But it's the same as what happened previously, except Gajol and Nestorenko are actually in a battle for position at this moment.
Oh no, I was switching Gajol and then yeah. I mean, you know, he gets the toe, he gets the push off of it in 4 seconds. He's already pulling on the 4. He's already dropped half a second off again. Yeah,
he's got the toe of Gajol as well, and Gajol is an insanely quick and insanely talented driver. So we're about to win this sort of the battle for theoretical P7. Ongoing between Nestorenko and Gajol into turn 1 as Nestorenko, the fellow medium runner to Bezzecchi, with a clean, undamaged car from previously, is going to try and just keep on Bezzecchi's lines and keep as close as he can.
So, do you think the soft was a bad tire choice for the second stint? Because it seems an awful lot like it's kind of a mix. I mean, really, I think right now it depends on the driver more than it does
so you've got two soft runners at the moment, and it's Mazin Sandlin and Adam Celarek. I think Sandlin got it better with the timing than Celarek did, if I'm honest. No, sorry, Bezzecchi. Bezzecchi, my bad. No, Bezzecchi, not Celarek. Bezzecchi is the soft runner. So I think it's quite possible that they might have just got a little bit better. It's I don't know. It's
because I mean, Bezzecchi's been kind of I don't think it's necessarily his fault, but it feels like I wonder if no doubt anything Celaric's doing. I mean, he is a fast man. That's just I've seen that. I've figured that out.
I wouldn't say it's
but the alarming rate that he's been a lot up to. I'm wondering if those tires aren't paying off anymore for Bezzecchi. And I think that's the problem. I think that was a very early call for his tires.
Nestorenko is on him as well.
Yeah,
because the thing is, it doesn't not work, is what I'll say. It doesn't not work. And this is Samuel Gajol now and Makar Nestorenko in the battle for P7. So they are coming down, 4 cars coming down the pit straight with all equal rights to fight each other at this point. They are more than welcome to battle each other, more than welcome to work together. It's Nestorenko at disadvantage though, because these guys are going to work together against him. Nestorenko manages to block off Gajol, and Gajol is absolutely all over him. He's looking to get past now. And
that's a good slot in by Gajol.
Yeah, Gajol's a good driver, and he's got equally good race driver. He's a very exciting driver to watch. He can throw doors nicely while keeping it respectful. And as Nestorenko shifts out the way. He didn't have to do that because that was for position. So that is Gajol goes past. But I think that's a bit of an error on Nestorenko's behalf, as that is Gajol gets it absolutely wrong.
Oh, on the inside as well. Oh no. Thankfully Nestorenko missed it. He avoided that very well, but that's tragic.
It's Gajol.
Again, man, that's tough luck. That's another run-in with the wall for him.
Interesting. But yeah, there's Celarek back up on him. Celarek is an insanely quick driver. You know, he is one of the quicker of the side-hot bunch. It is sort of Gajol, Celarek, and Sheffers who are the sort of the quick 3 of the side-hot drivers. All the others are incredibly solid, but it's just Celarek has blistering pace on his side.
Yeah, there's just no doubt about that. That's just there. You can see it. Even just watching
a second and a half between them. I say as Celarek goes.
Do you think he's going to dive on? Oh no! Yeah, I'm delayed. I was waiting for the dive bomb, but no, he did the exact opposite, and that was almost very bad.
That is so we go. That is Chalarak. So Bezzecchi on the softs, Chalarak on the mediums. Two tyre strategies and drivers collide. As Chalarak did quite a good job to not collide with the solid object on his off-track excursion.
Yeah. Oh, this has been the fight to watch for the past, I mean, half hour. I mean, more than that, but lately in the past half hour has really been kicking off again.
Yeah, it's been heating up
It
quite nicely.
really is
The end
anyone's
of the
game.
race is what gets exciting.
I mean, yeah, because they all realize, all right, tires are going. I mean, I got to push for position. I can gap if I can. I go for the push. I mean, right here, Soler goes on the inside. Does he get the full? He does. Does he keep it though? Does he get the cut back? Does Bezzecchi get the cut back? He does. He might even go for the inside here for the dive bomb. I think he attempted it but backed out there. He realized it wasn't a great idea. It was just a little bit too far back.
It's
I don't
sort
think
of three tenths of a second is the sort of the lunge window in between these long between these long straights.
It does seem to, because I think you can get away with that. You can really burn those brakes. Just you can get rid of them for just long enough that you can actually pull it off without throwing yourself into a wall.
Well, the thing is, unlike ACC, AC doesn't actually simulate killing brakes. So you can abuse your brakes as much as you wish.
Ah, that will do it.
You are more than welcome to annihilate your pads to your heart's content.
I'll take that out of context and use it later, but
outstanding.
That's questions too.
So that's Bezzecchi. He's actually dropped down to a second. Yeah, it's Chalarak now up in front with Bezzecchi behind.
So do you think this is time for Bezzecchi to play it safe for a bit? Do you think? Is there really anything in it for him to pull? I mean, he's the one on the softs, correct? I mean, do you think it's really worth it for him just to pull off and say, you know what, tires are shot?
Oh no, Bezzecchi's the one on the softs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's on the softs. So like his tires are probably shot. He's probably like he might even back off to say, you know what, I'm on the podium. I'm here. I don't need to push for this because it just keeps going back and forth, and I'm ruining tires doing this. I mean, I've got, upwards of 11 minutes going on this. I'm consistent. I can stay with it. Because right now, I mean, he's dropping an awful lot, and it might just that might just be tires entirely by themselves.
Yeah, we'll see. We shall see is the answer essentially. But yeah, Sandlin, let's look at that gap. So it's just monitoring these gaps. So Itchy is closing in on bad.
Yeah, Itchy's dropped a few seconds.
And
I just looked at that.
Gazyor is him and Nestorenko are closing in again. So I think we're going to witness a battle between these two. It's the last few. Oh, that was a little bit at the back end kicking out on Gazyor's GTR as his windows are completely smashed in from that.
That's not a warning sign. I mean, that's not great. I really gotta wonder. I mean, it's just been an unusual race for him. Just it just hasn't seemed to find his groove really. I mean, we were talking about earlier, just 2 hours. You just gotta kind of sit down, then just think about something else.
Yeah, it's been an incredibly tough race.
I mean, Zandvoort's already annoying as it is. Sometimes just hot lapping at it because it really does require you to really. But depending on the banking, you really can't afford to miss a line sometimes.
Yeah, it's
depending on what corner it is.
Wrong.
Yeah, it's not great, and I think that's the problem is that after a 2 hour, and especially if depending on what you're running with your actual brightness, it's very dark. I mean, it's one of those things where like you see so little, and all of a sudden you're just kind of. It's almost tunnel vision in a sense. Because you get so focused on like this tiny cone in front of you that you kind of just stop paying attention to the actual racing and just I'm looking at this patch of thing I can see.
Yeah.
And it kind of it's a weird psychological thing I've had before with other things, like not in a professional race way, but in that kind of sense.
Yeah.
And it really does just kind of. It's almost like just falling asleep at the wheel. You kind of just don't think. And I wonder if that's kind of what's going on. Because we know what kind of a driver he's a very consistent, very well-rounded driver. He's fast, he's respectable. It just feels like it's an off day, It's unfortunate, really.
Possibly, yeah. Either way, though, he's brought it back into 0.8 per second on his Nestorenko. So he is closing, and he will be gearing up for an overtake. Slings it up the inside of the berm. Makes it work. Nicely done.
He had to pay. He knew his exit was good.
Yeah.
He said, "I'm sticking this because I know what I have," and it worked.
Yeah, credit where due. He made that stick and he made that work.
Yeah.
No arguing with that. Samuel Gajot overtakes Makar Nestorenko. As the grid has opened itself up with 8 minutes to go, as this race winds itself down peacefully-ish.
Yeah,
it's been a brutal 2 hours.
We've got a few scuffles here and there. We've got some interesting strategies at play, but now we're getting back to that. All right, we're getting to the back to the head-ons. We're seeing a lot of those groups of 2 just spread out.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're in right now. I mean, we've kind of got a dabble of 3 here, but or more. Is that actually? I don't know. That was just me. That almost looked wide. I can't. Oh no, that was just me. I just realized I'm a little special. Don't worry. Speaking of the cone thing, I was just watching his lights.
Yeah, it's the visibility is absolutely catastrophic out there.
Oh, I mean, I was in before my stuff actually crapped itself. I was just kind of like, man, I can't see anything. I mean, your peripheral. I mean, at least for me, it might have just been me. My peripheral was out the window. I mean, I really couldn't see a lot of my apexes. I really had to focus away from the lights.
Yeah, it's straight up, it just ain't easy. It's not an easy track, it's not easy conditions, and there is a complete absence of lighting. So Chilarek, 137, Bezetchi, and 137.203 versus a 139.238. Those soft tyres have had enough.
They're done.
So I'll have a look at Mason Sandlin, the other soft runner. Obviously, slightly slower qualifying pace and slightly slower race pace, but he's doing a 137.534.
What do you think? I mean, I think that actually just comes down to he hasn't.
He's
and that's just the pace thing.
Quite nicely.
Not to mention he did it later, right? They're fresher, and also he hasn't been in a position to be fighting and pushing those tires as hard. He's been kind of not really alone the entire time, but for a while now he's been just doing an alone race. He hasn't really had to push the tires to defend or chase somebody down. He's really just been kind of minding his own business, probably just managing his tires, just getting in that groove that we keep talking about. He's just hitting the laps. He knows what time it is. He knows where he is. He's just gonna keep it in his own lane. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's done. Honestly, he has been the most interesting driver on the grid today. He's run the most interesting race. He's run the most unusual strategy, and he's sort of made it work.
Even at first it was like it was going to be the play that it was going to be crazy, but no, I mean, he pulled off something I wasn't really expecting it, but I think it's really turned out well for him.
His pace is genuinely good. He's running good laps. He's running good times. He's doing a good job of it.
And what is he? 2 seconds up? Is that you, right? At the moment, which is tire digging, other things are involved.
Yeah,
but
of the 2 soft runners, he has made those soft tires last. Yeah, obviously he's run them for less time, but he's made them work a lot better to his advantage. He's done a fantastic job. From somebody who 2 weeks ago, had never. This is This is the 3rd week. So 2 weeks ago, this is not. He's never actually run anything like this before. This is sort of 6th hour of racing GT cars, and he is doing a pretty stellar job.
Quick study, if anything. I mean, he's just. I mean, you can see. I mean, even the way. The way he takes it, the way he approaches corners, the way he takes he uses his car, you can tell he really is kind of figuring out.
Yeah.
I mean, in some spots you can see where he's experimenting. You can almost see a little bit of the change, and you can kind of see, I can see what he's throwing things. He wants to try new things, trying to push the car. I mean, yeah. I mean, for a debut, appearance, I mean, he's awfully consistent.
Yes.
And he really does know and respect and understand what he's like, his car and how he's handling it, and that's not easy.
And he's just honestly even compared to some of the front runners, he's kept the car on the track, and that in itself on Zandvoort in these conditions, and especially as cold as it is, that's impressive.
I mean, yeah, give him an extra few seconds of raw pace and even just a qualifying. I mean, if he drives the way he is and he just had a few more seconds of pace in him or whatever, I think he really could be not too far off the podium if even on it. I mean, I think.
Yeah, agreed. And let's have a quick look at Gajot and Nestorenko, because they are half a second apart in an ongoing battle between them. They never quite let off each other.
That's reading bumper stickers right there. That's what that is. He's not close enough where he's looking into the mirrors, but he can see a lot more than he wants, and I think that's the point where you kind of
there.
Yeah, because you go to that point when you're trailing somebody, you're like, he's in that one spot where I just can't see super far ahead of him, and I can't see right. Like it's kind of like it's almost annoying,
Yeah, and that's right,
It's
because
kind of like when
usually
you
it's
have
good in this
something on
game.
like glasses or goggles. You're like, oh, that's annoying. It's just in the way. You
Yeah.
can still see, but it's just there. And that's kind of what it is. Like you almost get like he's right there. He's just close enough. Like hey, I can't make a move on him, but I know that if I push a little bit, I can have him. So it can almost be a dangerous thing because it almost says, oh, I should push. I could push my car. I could catch him here. Speaking of which, oh no, I'm a little seconds off, but he dropped the tire off of that and
Yeah.
almost didn't. Oh, that was sketchy. I was worried about it. And again, that's what I was saying. Like you see that car, you start pushing. I'm gonna push. I'm gonna catch up to him, and I'm gonna make a move.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. You can start focusing on taking the overtake and not just doing what you're doing, which again, especially in endurance, is what you need to be doing.
Yeah.
Overtaking when you can is really just a bonus.
Well, you're
It
seeing
should
the
be
difference between
opportunity.
a racing driver and an endurance driver right now.
Oh yeah, that's actually that's a really good point. Actually, people don't realize that. Like, yeah, racing endurance, like it's the same thing, just one's longer. It's for sure a different game.
It is. It's a totally different headspace to be in. It's a totally different way of operating. Hang on, there's two cars right next to each other. That is Badmave and Bazecchi. Hang on. That's Sadlin and Bazecchi. So the two soft runners, actually, in the final 2 minutes, are on each other. So we're going to see the difference between Sadlin and Bazecchi. Sadlin goes for it. Launches himself up the inside. Like I said, the most interesting driver on this grid today is Mason Sadlin. He goes for it into turn 1. 2 minutes to go. Makes it stick.
I mean, again, that's just like I want to know what the hell is going through this guy's head. I mean, he just says, you know what? Yeah, I'll just take those. I take those.
So yeah, there's the two soft runners on a duel for each other, and that is that right there is a practical demonstration of what good timing is with your tyre strategy. Aizen Sandlin is just absolutely tearing away. He's gone.
I think he's at the point. He's in the last 2 minutes. He goes, I'm hot lapping. I'm gonna push as far as I can. Within bound. But you're kind of throwing a lot of caution to the wall in the last 2 minutes. You're pushing for time, especially if you have someone in front of you. That's when you're going, okay, I'm gonna throw it at this guy because I'm already here. I'm gonna attempt to get close to him. If I can't, I'm here anyway.
Yeah.
And that's also, again, that dangerous part of like don't push too hard because your tires are shot, you're tired, you're running through the same thing. It's a very different. It's a weird mindset change, and
Some
it can
drivers
be.
do sort of rally in a way. They can rally near the end and they can get a good push on, but it depends. But that is Mason Sandlin with the overtake on. That was impressive. Wait, hang on a sec. That was Badmave in the pits. Badmave in the box.
In the last minute?
Fuel. I think his fuel strategy didn't work out. So I think that's a case of fuel issues. We had it last week with Itchy. Yeah, that is.
Well, funny enough, guess he benefits from that. Yeah. I guess he learned his lesson. That's.
Yeah, no, Itchy had to keep boxing, and in the end, actually had to get pushed over the start-finish line in what I can best describe as a scene from Cars. But yeah.
Oh god,
it was the best thing that I've ever seen, quite frankly. But yeah, this is
that reminds me of his funny. That's a long story.
Honestly, I think we will. I think we'll pen Zandvoort down. It's one of the less eventful TK races, in all honesty. It's
interesting, but not eventful.
Yeah, there was some duels.
There was some very disappointing. It was very peaky. It was like that's really weird. That's really interesting. You had some really big moments, but they didn't last long.
Yeah, I think
the only thing that lasted long was Sandlin's first stint. I mean, that was he really stretched that. I don't know how he did it.
I think what we've witnessed today is F1 2023. Someone did an interesting tyre stint. Someone ran away with the lead, and other than that, not particularly much went on.
I called that really early in the race. I was like, you know what? Someone pulls away instantly, and everyone else says we're doing small scraps here and there, but it's all down. It's the strategy. Which strategy ends up being an absolute idiotic move.
And that is Adam Chelarek, your provisional race winner, providing the pits haven't completely grenaded themselves. Who goes into
proper F1 2023 anyway. You might as well just save the results until after the weekend, right?
Yeah. That is Vladislav Badmave doing it reasonable. Oh god, and that's Samuel Gajor, who boofs it into there, and there we go. That is Giacomini finishes his final lap.
Oh jeez. Oh jeez.
They've earned it at this point.
Yeah, they're. Oh god, that's a Fox 3.5. Oh god, that's a Mach 2 intercept.
So it's Celerek, Celerek in a portable toilet. But we'll pop our camera on Mazin Sandlin. Samuel Buzecchi Samuel Buzecchi still has 44.5 litres of fuel.
Oh man, that's. I mean, it's unfortunate we can't give definitive, but I mean, regardless, it was a hell of a drive from a lot of people.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunate DNFs we have in the first. I mean, we was it internet or technical failure we had, and it was just, it was unfortunate. I mean, I had it pre-race. I mean, I don't. Full disclosure, I don't think I was even making it through qualifying. I had not touched the track since like 10 minutes before. It was not going to go well. But all I know is that it sucks. I've had it before. Back in the TKE, actually, Focus Cup, I remember that. It was Suzuka, I believe it was. I actually had a really strong qualifying. I was always dead last over the race, and I had like 7th or 8th. I was up there. I was actually and then it was after a safety car, I believe, of the first race, and I don't know if it actually was safety car. I think it was just during a few fights, my pedals just stopped, and it was a pain, and it sucked because I was like, finally a good result. I can really be proud of this, and I was racing well. I was pushing for it, so I really get that. That sucks.
Right, that is the end of a brutal taxing race lined with many technical issues. So that was the GTR challenge at Zandvoort, and that will be that'll be one that is
That's a screenshot and a half.
That goes hard. But yeah, there we go.
It does go.
On that closing shot, that was 2 hours of technical issues, brutal racing, and
really weird strategies. I don't know what it was going through.
Yeah. And also some fat technical issues, so we're going to work out what the hell actually happened there. And yeah, right, so that is that. I'm Bandit. This is Blanche in the chat with me. This is Liam Blanchard, chilling in the commentary booth. And that's us signing off. I will see you at the Laguna Seca, where it's a Kunos track, so nothing can technically bloody break. Thank you very much and good night.